You have become a participant!
But wait a minute. I can't fit a war post in my garage. I don't have a garage. I don't have a house that allows me to drill big holes in the ceiling and spray wood chips all over the floor. How am I supposed to train on a moving target without a training partner? Don't worry, I had you covered. The war cube. Just a piece of string, and I drill a little hole through a block of wood. Any block of wood will do. Hell, you could even use a baseball or a little pinky squishy ball or a tennis ball. I like wood a little bit better because it's a little bit less bouncy, and the blade and the point actually bite into it like a bone. And I add a little piece of pipe on top so that I'm less likely to cut the string like I've done several times. So get a little bit more mileage out of this string right here. If you just had that little guy. Leave a little surplus at the top for hanging it on various surfaces. And just loop that over something. Now the height that you hang this is very important because this thing's going to swing a lot. Okay? So I always make sure that I hang it at about the width of my solar plexus so that if it's not moving and I'm standing directly in front of it, this is the height of somebody trying to attack my hand at the center of my body or stab me in the heart. If I'm moving back and it's swinging at me, it comes to the height of my throat or eyeballs. And if I'm chasing this thing, again, it's about the height of the throat or the eyeballs and it's swinging at me. So no matter where this thing is in the room, it's always in danger of hitting me. It's never flying so far above my head that it's fucking useless. You get the idea. Now, if you've ever boxed and used a teardrop bag or a wrecking ball style smaller punching bag, that's what this is. This is your opponent's hand. Your goal is quite simple. To cut and stab that hand without that hand cutting or stabbing you. So if this thing's touching you anywhere you didn't want it to touch, that means you're fucking up. You can also check and hammer and then just kind of pretend that there's an arm or a body like past it. So I can hammer this out of the way, and then my counter cut's like right there. There's my hammer and my cut. If I check this, I stab, and then I move. But its primary benefit is to get used to avoiding and cutting and stabbing the hand. That's what this is for. I mean, it's basically just a glorified cat toy, but it works really, really well. Another benefit of this thing is that it's super easy to fix. You fucking... Oh, Jesus, I really glued that in there. Always carry pliers on you, kid. Yeah. Okay, not a problem. We're just gonna pop this bitch right through and then we'll get back to it.
Son, this is gonna sting a bit. Bite down, boy. Bite until your teeth crack. Nice. Sometimes you just gotta fucking melt them, you know what I'm saying? Just light this little fucking shit right here, just fucking melt it, I don't give a shit. That's good fish. You can get that in you. Yeah, now just put this little fucker down in the hole right there. Naughty, filthy boy. Oh, shit, fuck. There we are. Ha! Yeah, hooked ya.
Alright, we fixed it. Anyway, like I was saying. Another nice thing about the war cube is that stabbing it doesn't produce nearly as much shock as does hitting a bigger log. So if you have a folding knife that you're wanting to train with, but you don't necessarily want to risk sticking it into a heavy log and by some miracle the fucking locking mechanism fails and
rips your fucking fingers off.
If you're scared of that happening, this dude's an excellent option. As this thing's swinging towards me, I actually run backwards, okay? I don't try to lunge backwards because if I misjudge my range or this person's charging really heavy, a lot of the times they can run forwards a lot faster than I can lunge back. So taking multiple steps back gives me time to assess what it is my opponent is doing and allows me to much more easily change directions on the fly than it would if I was lunging or using a wide stance with this. I'm not saying you can't do that, or you shouldn't do that, or your instructor doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, you don't know shit. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just explaining to you why I do what I do. And if you like it, great. If you don't, I don't really care. Another thing you can do with this thing, it's a lot less sexy to look at, but it's equally as important, is to just practice your defensive movement. So without my knife, I just practice moving the war cube and turning my shoulders and walking out of the way. You'll notice, if I turn my shoulders at the right time, I can actually let this thing pass right by me. So now instead of trying to sidestep it and eating that stab in the shoulder, by rotating my body completely out of the way, it passes right by me. This is really, really helpful if I'm using my knife, and as it passes right by me, I extend into a thrust. I can stab at the exact moment that their thrust or cut passes by my shoulder. Now again, this isn't a realistic representation of a knife fight by any means. You're just getting used to a moving target trying to touch your body and moving yourself out of the way. This also differs from using a tool like this for boxing because this is not meant to represent a punch, it's meant to represent a knife. If a punch goes out and then drops down suddenly, it doesn't do anything to you. It's not going to hurt you. If I go to stab and you duck out of the way, nothing stops me from just pointing my arm back down or coming out and then dropping down and cutting. So your whole body has to move out of the way. So you keep your body weight high, your legs are pretty close together. Your gait is no different than if you're running or walking. You're not settling your weight or squatting. You're just clearing your body out of the way. You're not setting up to throw a powerful punch or a kick. You're just clearing your body. This is pure evasion. That's all this is. Rotating the shoulders. If you want, you can work your hands into it for a little bit of bone conditioning. The same thing. I check and I walk away. I'm not standing and doing this. Now, I'm moving. If the object gets close to me, I strike it and then move away. I strike it and I move. When I'm checking, I'm using from the pinky knuckle down to the elbow. I'm not using my fingertips. I can bat this piece of wood away with my fingertips because it's bullshit. A human arm with a knife on the end of it, my fingertips won't stop. From the pinky bone down. So basically palm down to the elbow. That works. You can slap it with the palm. You can use the inside bone in your arm or the outside bone, whatever. But do not use your fingertips. I'm bored now. So that's how you train this stuff at home. You will cut yourself at some point. I'm not exaggerating that. It's going to happen if you use a sharp knife. You're going to get fucking cut. So, you know, I don't know, probably use like a stick or something. I don't know.
Oh my goodness. Hello.